Greetings, this is Sloshworks and welcome to Trials Fusion in 15 minutes. Trials Fusion is the latest in the Trials series, which began life as a web game way back in 2000. This game was made by Red Lynx in collaboration with Ubisoft and is essentially a platform racing game that does its best to convince you that it is not a two-dimensional game. And you'll see as we have a look at some of the tracks, the different ways they go, the different ways they try and do that. So let's jump straight into it. So basically, Trials plays out in what appears to be a 3D background, but is really essentially running along a two-dimensional plane. You can see a couple of ghosts up there on the screen. That's my Ubisoft Uplay friends, and you can play against them. You get notified if they beat your time or that kind of thing. The game has shipped without internet online multiplayer. It does have a local multiplayer if you have two people in the same house using controllers, but it's a bit sad that it shipped without the online multiplayer, because that's one of the things that's made previous ones in the franchise so much fun. I'm really looking forward to actually getting to play with LTD Guy and Squasher, playing a few drunken nights of Trials Fusion, because as you get along, you fall whenever you're not paying attention, but as you go further along, the tracks become harder and harder. And the extreme tracks are, well, I mean, I'm not very good at the game. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the best at the game, but it's certainly when you get to 500 faults and you have to start again because that's the limit, then you can see that it's actually not an easy game, especially if you're going for the different challenges or the different achievements that you can get. Each track does have 3 different individual challenges, such as finish the track without leaning, or run over the flowers, or other ones that are a little bit more complicated, like turn off the wind turbines, things like that, which you're never quite sure what that's actually going to mean until you run the track a few times and you notice you bump a chord with your wheel and it comes off at a certain point, and then you can reverse backwards down a hill and find that you can go somewhere you couldn't go before. So it's all a bit of trial and error. And the exploration of it is quite good. This is the first one in the series to feature a quad bike, the TKO Panda, which once you actually get to play with it, I mean, all the different bikes, there's 5 or 6, there's 6 different bikes. All of them do handle quite differently. The quad bike definitely handles much differently to all the other bikes. You can feel the extra weight. As you're riding it, you have to lean differently, you have to accelerate differently. You can really feel the weight behind it. Although doing a backflip in a quad bike is enormously fun. The tracks are, as you can see, pretty awesome. There's been a huge improvement in the graphics and the lighting and the particle effects and all that kind of stuff. And one thing you do notice about the tracks is that there is quite a lot of movement on the tracks. You bump pillars, they fall down, things collapse behind you, buildings get crumpled, giant hands rip things away as you're going, and you never really know what's going to happen in the track till you've actually raced it once. And the ends of all of them, you always die horribly at the end. It's always the way. It's part of the franchise. There's not as bloody and graphic as some of the other ones, but they're still pretty good. When you finish the game, in this one, you get a BMX bike, the Rabbit. It is, without a doubt, the strangest vehicle I've played in any of the franchise games. I can't quite get the acceleration and the leaning down. It's so light. You're so used to like working against the weight of things and struggling against it, that you get on this and it doesn't have the acceleration to get up some of the hills or over some of the jumps, and yeah, you just lean it and it goes. It's really weird to have something so light to ride on, and the animations of him pedaling are absolutely incredible. The animations of the person are quite good. This is kind of a futuristic kind of thing. You can see you've got some cybernetic upgrades. Some of the costumes are kind of based around that kind of thing, and I mean, the BMX is pretty fun. I definitely wouldn't say it's my favourite, but it's well worth having a play around with when you finally get to. It plays quite a big role in some of the skill games and the track central tracks, which we'll get to in a little bit. One of the big selling points of this game is the Track Central. These are the user-created tracks. You've got skill tracks. You've got FMX tracks, which is basically doing tricks which have never been in the game before. This is the first one they've really been in the series. You can actually do motocross stunts, which, I mean, who doesn't want to do that? But it also has user-created tracks. This is one of the user-created tracks. This is Moshi Peaks. This is one of the ones which really does show off what you can do with the editor that Red Lynx has provided you. All of this has been made with content that's already in the game. It's just kind of plug and play and learn to use the tool. But this is an incredibly beautiful track, which really shows off how tracks can change and morph as you're riding along them. And there's a bit coming up which is pretty spectacular. This bit is amazing. I mean, who would have thought that was going to do that the first time you played it? You might see at the end of each of the tracks that I beat LTD guy. I swear I didn't just keep doing these till I beat him every single time, but sometimes it just ends up that way. You can't complain about this. You just kind of got to go with what you have. The game's been out, what, 2, maybe 3 weeks now, and already the number of tracks in Track Central has doubled and then tripled and then quadrupled as I've been going. Some of them are incredible. Some of them are silly. And some of them are really pretty. This track's called Ethereal. If you noticed then how quickly my computer downloaded the new track, that's how long it takes. It's really quite amazing. But this particular track is stunningly beautiful. It's got kind of the nice forest sounds. You can see shining balls of light floating through the air. You feel calm and casual and kind of a new agey, kind of futuristic motocross madness inspired track. And I quite like the ending to this one. As you float through various things, giant doors open, you can hear the rocks falling around you. I have no idea why this tree is here, but it's spectacular. So it just goes to show how much you can make with the engine that they've provided you. And you get the rate up and rate down, thumbs up, thumbs down for each of the user-created tracks. One of the other parts of Track Central is the skill games. Now these seem to have a huge variety of different goals, I guess you could call them, for the track. I mean, this one here is called the Great Leap Angel. This is one of the first ones I found that was a little bit strange, a little bit different. I mean, and I'll just let you sit back and enjoy the pleasure of the entire track. Yes, that's it. Platinum medal buried in the floor. 9 seconds long. Still very cool though. Rate that one up. There's, I mean, you can go from jumping from the sky for 9 seconds long to this one's called Trick Shot, and in this one you need to knock a ball into a basket. So I mean, you really do have quite a lot of freedom on the goals that you set for these tracks. And I mean, the satisfaction of finally getting this was pretty good. I'm not going to lie, that was pretty good. And then it goes all the way through to balls, which they've rated as medium. Now, I don't know if I'd rate it medium. As I said, I'm not the best at this game, but this I lost about half an hour to. Still trying to get used to the rabbit and trying to make my way along, but that's as far as I could get. The game does offer a fair amount of customization. You go into your garage and you can change your costume. You can mix and match different parts, different colours on them. I don't know why I've made myself pink. I'm sure I had I had some reason for it when I first did it. Basically, you earn the money as you race, and you can buy the different outfits, match them however you please, and you also get a couple of really cool animal heads. Now, I've only earned the squirrel. You get them through your Uplay rewards, but I like the squirrel head. It's pretty fun hurting yourself massively whilst wearing a squirrel head. And I think I'll leave you guys with one of my favourite FMX tracks from the actual areas of the game. The track center on this is an actual game one called Airtime. And it just kind of throws you into the midst of things. You do, as you go along, start to learn how to do the tricks and how they can go together to kind of get the biggest combos. I'd only been playing the game a little bit when I actually recorded this, so don't assume this is the best you can do. It most certainly is not. And there's an enormous satisfaction to putting together a very, very tightly spaced series of jumps or pulling off that triple back that you never thought you were going to make. The game is offering a season pass, so there will be, I think, 5 expansions they've said that are coming up for another $19.99, and it looks like it's going to be worth the money. I mean, it's been enormously fun so far. All the other ones in the series have been pretty good, and I reckon it's worth a go. $20, Trials Fusion, give it a go.